Viewers and listeners, we are back again on the Jollyphonics program, and we are going to start where we stopped. But before we start, I have a very nice song for you, which I want to sing with you, and then we go on to the lesson proper. Now, I want you to listen attentively. I'm going to sing this song, and then you listen very well, because I want you to know what my name is. My name is Michelle. What is yours? I want to know. I want you to know. Who am I? Michelle, Michelle, what a nice name. That's the way my name is called. My name is Michelle. What is yours? I want you to know. Who am I? Michelle, Michelle, what a nice name. That's the way my name is called. Is that understood? So that's my name. Today we're going to look at sounding. But before we go into sounding, we are going to recap our previous lessons. Remember, we have learned some lessons here. Okay. Remember, we have learned here some lessons. That is from book 1, 2, and today we are going to look at book 3. But before we move, I want you to look at these sounds first. And you tell me the sounds. Are you seeing this sound? This sound is s, 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 s. Again, s. The next one. The next one we have ah, 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 ah. Sound. What sound is this? T, t, t. Put it here. This one, sorry, this one, I. And this other one, p, 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 p. This one, Now we have the sounds in the first book. Now we are going to look at book 2, where you have k, two sounds coming together. That is the C and the K. We have e. Sorry, I didn't tell you the sound. This is e, e, e. What sound is this? And this other one, rrr, rrr, rrr. Another one. That is the sound before the. And then we have the sound. Now, let's look at the board and see the sounds that we've learned before. Remember, these sounds were taught before, and then we looked at them. Today, we just want to see whether we can remember what we have learned in the previous lesson. Can we all say the sounds? S, A, T, I, P, N, K. If you look at this, you have the C and the K. They all have the same sound. And then you have E, R, M, and D. Very good. Now, before we go to the next lesson, I want us to look at these sounds properly, and we try to form a word from each of the sounds, only one word from each of the sounds, to see whether we can remember our initial sounds in words. Now, let's start with S. We can say sat. Look at that. We have sat. If you look at the initial sound of this word is S. We move A. Ant. What's the initial sound of the word ant? A. We move T. Tap. Look at tap, the word tap. That's the initial sound. You hear in the word T. That is tap. We go I. We have ink. What's the initial sound here? That is I. I. We hear in the I sound. And then the other one we have P. Pan. Pan. The initial sound there is P. Now we move N. Let's say net. The initial sound here is net. Now looking at these words, you realize that all the sounds we've learned in book 1, all the sounds we've learned in book 1, you have the words being formed here. And if you look at the words, their initial sounds are S, A, T, I, P, and N in all the words. If you look at sat, the initial sound is, that is the sound. We are only interested in the sound, the first sound. You look at ant, the same thing. The first sound is A. You look at the first sound is, sorry, you look at tap, the first sound is T. And then when you look at I, ink, the first sound is I. Pan, the first sound is P. And net, the first sound is N. Now, let's move to the second book. Still, we are going to form only a word from each of the sounds. Now, let's go. Kite. The initial sound here is K. Cap. Initial sound here is K. E. Egg. What's the initial sound we hear in here? That is egg. Now we move Han. The initial sound here, what we hear is H. Now we move to R. Rat. The initial sound of the word rat is r. Let's say man. Here, our initial sound here is m. And we have what we call the d sound, that is D-O-G, dog. The sound we hear first here is d. Now we have done that. I want us now to look at our new lesson today. Today we're going to look at a new sound, but first, before I say anything about the sound, I am going to read a storyline for you, which I want each and every one of you to sit and listen attentively. I will read the storyline twice. You listen and tell me the sound you hear from the story. Is that clear? Now let's go. The sink is blocked and full of water. A plumber has been called to unblock it. When the sink is unblocked, the water goes down the drain, making a gurgling sound, g, 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 gurgle. Can you listen again? The sink is blocked and full of water. A plumber has called to unblock it. When the sink is unblocked, the water goes down the drain, making a gurgling sound, g, 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 g. Now, can you tell me, what sound do you hear from the story? Yes? G, good. Another one? Yes, g. If you look at it, that's the sound there. Yes? G. Very good. The sound is g. Very good. Let's all say the sound. We're going to look at the sound. You said g. Very good. G. Now, look at this. That's the sound. Can you all say it? Say the sound. Say it again. Say it again. G. 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 Yes. G. 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 Very good. That is the sound. Now, I want us to form the letter. That is what we call letter formation. Now we're going to form the letter in the air, on your tables, and then in your books. But then before we do that, I want you to take out your books and your pencils and get ready, because you are going to write the sound in your books. Are you ready? Now let's go. Around. Can we go? Around, up, down, and a curve. Can we do that again? Around, up, down, and a curve. Now, that is to say, around, up, down, and a curve. Around, up, down, and a curve. Around, up, down, and a curve. Now, we have done that. Now I want you to write it in your books. So you write it on your friend's back first. From there, you write it in your books. Good. Now, This word, this sound here, we have formed the letter. Now, before we move, I want us to look at something. Let me see whether you can remember the sounds. Now, look at this card here. Look at this. Some will tell me this is color. Am I right? That is green. 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 So if you look at green, the spelling of the word green has the initial sound is G. G. Green, green, G. Because we are only interested in the initial sound. Now, I have another picture here again. Look at it properly before you say anything. What picture is this? This is goat. 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 Would you realize that the initial sound there is what? G. G. That is the initial sound. That is the first sound you're hearing in the word goat. Now, another one. This is goal. Class, do you know what is goal? You know, some of us like what? Watching game. When you kick the ball and it enters the net, that is what we call a goal. So now, if you look at the initial sound in the word goal, is G. G. Are we there? Very good. So now, you realize that we have done what? We have looked at the first sounds when we started our lessons, the first book, where we made words using initial sounds. And then now we looked at pictures with initial sounds of the sound that we are learning today. So now, I have a very nice song for you. And I want each and every one of you to listen. I will sing the song, and then you will sing after me. Is that okay? Now let's go like this. The water gurgles down the drain. I'm going to read the words first. The water gurgles down the drain. The water gurgles down the drain with a G, 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 G. The water gurgles down the drain. The water gurgles down the drain. The water gurgles down the drain with a G, 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 G. Do you hear me? Very good. Now, we're going to sing the song. And it goes like this. The water gurgles down the drain. The water gurgles down the drain. The water gurgles down the drain with a G, 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 G. Can we go again? The water gurgles down the drain. The water gurgles down the drain. The water gurgles down the drain with a G, 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 G. Now, that's our song. Now, before we go, I want us to have an activity. I just want you to know, I want to see whether you can still remember the sounds that we have learned before. Now, I'm going to place this here, and I would like you to match them for me. Now, we are going to match the same sounds with these sounds here. I'm going to give you some cutouts, and then we try to match them. If I call a sound, you come and place the right sound on it. Is that understood? Now let's go. Let's look at the board. Where do we have S? We have S here. We're going to place it there. Very good. That is the first sound. What is the next sound? A. A. Let's look at A. Good. Now we are going to place A. We have A. 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 T. T. Where do we place the sound? T. T comes here. And then the next sound is what? I. 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 Where are we going to place I? We're going to place it here. And then the other sound. What is the next sound? P. 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 We are going to place it here. P. And then the last sound, it's going to be, in book 1, it's going to be mm. Mm. So we're going to place it here. Mm. Have you seen that? Now you realize that we have done same sound matching. That is, match the same sounds. We match S to the sound S. We match A to the sound A. We match T to its sound, I to its sound, P to its sound, and N to its sound. I think we've done a lot now. So can we just make a quick recap? S, A, T, I, P, N, K, K, E, H, R, M, D. And then we look at the words that we have formed using the initial sounds. Sat, ant, tap, ink, pan, net, kite, cap, egg, hen, rat, man, dog. And then we look at these ones too. We have what color here? Green color. And then we said the initial sound here is G. Green. Here we have a goat. And we said the initial sound of the goat is G. That is goat. Here we have a football net. And we said goal. The initial sound of goal, we have it here. And the word is goal. So now, before we end our lesson, I am going to give you a homework. Already you are seated there looking at me at your homes, listening. I want you to write me 10 words that begin with the sound G. Is that understood? Write me 10 words that begin with the sound G. I hope that is clear. Now, I just want to give you a piece of advice. but I'll speak in my own language. I don't know, some of you will hear what I'm saying and others will not hear it. Baitiji manjaku. Da teko bajawi. Pumaku coronavirus a chikome a chi real. Banda tefrikata. Ndu nyawi nyan sakuler. Sakuler ndu nyawi nyan. Ndela ka bak nyawi nyan. Tendu wutu puja ndu chil inyanditi jint. Tim neej tibak neej rek ndu wutu ka mobaro rostu. Ni bat, ni yis, nim tum. Mambara ni mak. Tewlo nu leer bu tewi jaka continuar. Da merci. Bye bye, thank you. Have a nice day.